there are some smart people in the military, political, diplomacy apparatus that understand like what the agenda is for this administration. And that's really to get all the freeloaders off of the actual balance sheet. And if you don't know like what you're talking about and you're getting all emotional about, oh, this price is this or this price is that or this price is this and this price is that, then you obviously haven't been listening. Like you obviously didn't hear anything that was said during the campaign when they said, hey man, we're going to be making some long lasting changes here and it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but after the turbulence, it's going to be good for everybody. So, me, as just a person, when I'm watching the events unfold, everything makes sense to me because I understand what the end goal is. It doesn't make sense to you because you don't really pay attention to any of this stuff, so I don't really hold you to that, right? But you should hold yourself to that because this is like when you get into the whole thing of all of these people are delusional, they don't know what they're talking about. What, with respect, you don't know what the actual objectives are for you to be judged if a person's reaching them or not. And then I'll defer the rest of my time to knowledge.
Oh yeah, I was doing quick. So I just wanted to say, I looked it up earlier when you guys were talking. It said, okay, to the conclusion, it says no, he did not verbatim say at any time during the speech on February 28th that he wants a regime change. It was never said. Some people may have implied, but it says a short answer, not as a direct, explicit objective in his main official statement.
I would just say that Claude says you're wrong. It says that at 2:30 a.m. on February 28th, Trump released a video statement on Truth Social saying that the purpose of the U.S. strikes was effectively regime change. He also urged the Iranian people to topple the leadership that has ruled since 1979, an explicit call for regime change. The administration's stated justification has shifted multiple times, including preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, deposing the regime, and stopping the immigrant attack. So,
I want you to. I think you will agree with me. Yes, sure. His people. That's what Simone said earlier. His people made a statement. He came out saying, no, this is what my objective goal is. His objective goal said nothing about a regime change.
Right, so the official answer is that no, right? But it does also say that the messaging has been deeply inconsistent because the White House administration is saying one thing, but Trump himself is saying otherwise.
Oh my gosh. Jessica.
Wait a minute.
That's what the fucking Claude says, man.
You can't blame it on the machine. Blame it on the.
So we know. We know exactly what the object of epic fury is because we detailed it and we looked it up, right? We know that for the Iranian people, it is a political desired outcome of the U.S. In other words, it's a wish of ours that they do this, right, and stand up to their government, right? We hope that they take this opportunity to do this for themselves. This is a desired outcome of what is going on. That is exactly what is hoped for all of this, right? But that wasn't the main objective, right? In my opinion, that would have been the first fucking thing I did. But hey, I'm not running in shit. Maybe I should have been. I don't know. Anyway, but that's exactly what's happening. It's just a desired outcome when all is said and done, right?
What's interesting to me, Don, is that it seems like that's the most desired outcome, right? Because they have said that. And that Trump is like on Israel's side versus his own administration saying that it's not. So that's really weird to me. Like he's more with Israel than he is with the American.
I don't understand what you just said. Obviously, it's our desired outcome, and it's in our benefit that a regime change happens. I don't know technically, I don't know geopolitically why we could not have gone in and just the whole clergy wiped out, all of them. Maybe it's crimes against humanity. I have no idea what the specifics are, what the rules are, right? But obviously, maybe there was a reason they couldn't have done that to begin with. I don't know. So, but it is in our benefit that that happens. It's not to our benefit that a terrorist regime stays in power, right? It's in no one's benefit worldwide.
I mean, it's been happening for 47 years, and why, it doesn't really make sense.
I would recommend that people know more about something before using these language models. Come on, this is not good stuff.
We don't have to, Samoa, though, we don't have to use the language model, because if you just listen to his interview, listen.
Lady, you have the tendency of interrupting me before I get to
No,
my
it was
point,
actually
and
my
then
cue.
you're derailed.
I was in the queue. Look in the chat.
It's in the
I was
chat.
supposed to go after knowledge, but I wanted to hear what Jessica had to say.
Wait, hold on. I can't understand you this. You need your mouth.
Sorry, I'm sorry, that was so opportunistic and wrong of me. It was wrong. I'm so sorry. It was bias. I heard from who I wanted to hear from, and I was strategically using my filibuster to. Okay, so I apologize, Mama. But what I wanted to say, because I wanted to hear what you had to say, but if you listen to the mixed messaging and the signaling, yes, it's not in the mission statement for Epic Fury, but the statements that Trump has made in his interviews since February 28th on this, he says, like, at first he's saying, we're going to be, we're not going to allow this person or this person, to take control. No, that's not acceptable. It's, I have to approve, and then it's just like, well, no, not him. Okay, so who you are going to be in control over, if you're going to dictate who's going to take over, I mean, that's part of the mixed signaling of the regime change. But just listen to his interviews. One with that woman.
Let's just say I've watched them all.
Okay. Who's the woman who when he made his statements about hold on, let me think.
Yeah. Yes, like one of the statements was something like.
Well, we didn't get a video. It was just because it wasn't.
It was CBS. It was
She gave like the she gave like the, and not even the full transcript. She only gave us quotes of what she wanted to give us from her interview with him. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the question to him was, hey, something along the lines of, do you want there to be a democracy? He says no, he doesn't really care. He deals with a lot of spiritual leaders, religious people, whatever. And then when it came into like who they're going to replace him with, he was like, of course, I want to be a part. I'm going to be a part of that. That guy, the son, is absolutely not. And like, yeah, he's speaking like within the political context of him being able to drop his opinion or him being a part of who will be the person that's there. Okay. So we just set that aside. Okay.
So, but you admit that part of it. Like, what about the quote, the headline, to crush Iranian regime and nuclear threat? That was White House's own Operation Epic Fury, to crush Iranian regime. I mean, clearly, if you're crushing the regime, a different regime is going to have to take power, right? No. So if you crush the regime, then what happens to the government? The same regime is they're gonna come back to life?
Yes, but it's kind of like this, right? So like when I crush the regime, that means I'm cutting off your legs and your arms. Are you still the same person? So like when you look at the objectives, and I've just decimated your missile storage, your drone capability, your funding of like proxy have basically decimated your nuclear capabilities within these facilities, are you still the same regime, and have you been crushed?
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
Yes. All right. So the point I'm making, it's pretty clear, and I think you could agree with this, is that there's times when he'll speak, and he's speaking about like the outcome of both of these militaries in their, I guess, bilateral operation, or like how would you say that? In like their dual operation, because they're working together, right? And in that, you could say, hey, if they do their thing and we do our thing, this thing will happen. And if this thing does happen, I want to be a part of like the reimagining of this place, of this wonderful place, with a favorable Iran to its neighbors and to like Western or like American trade. Sanctions would be removed, all these like wonderful incentives will like come about, right? But what we're talking about is like the military objectives. On the left, you have America, boom, we'll do our part. Let's say Israel fails, okay? Let's say Israel doesn't reach their objective of like uprooting or changing the regime change, right? Does that mean that we fail? Bima? So like they have Roaring Lion, right? That's their mission, or that's their name of their operation. And they have regime change in their objectives, right? If they don't reach that objective, do we fail? As far as epic fury?
No, not technically, because that's not one of our mission goals. That's not listed anyway as a matter of honesty. I mean, if they have it for their, why would we have to write it twice, right?
Right, and what I was saying is that what you're starting to see right now over the last 17 days is the media and the propaganda machine start to move that objective over to the American side. And then they're adding more objectives so that America can never win. They're in a lose-lose situation. Like right now, the Strait of Hormuz has been added to the American side of epic fury.
Do you think that is Israel doing that somehow?
It's the pro-Iranian pushback on like Donald Trump can't be successful here. And like that's domestic, right? Like that's just the gamesmanship of like we're about to hit a midterm, right? So the Democrats are basically saying this is like stupid, and they're gonna run with it, right? But Donald Trump can't be successful here, even if he gets
What
out.
does Marjorie Taylor think?
Who cares?
It's not just the Democrats.
Just hold on, come on, just hold on. I'm talking about people that are actually in power that need to create a narrative to uproot the House and the Senate. Okay, so at the midterms, Donald Trump can't be seen as a winner, right? Hello. So what they're doing?
Well, that's easy because he's a loser, like by nature.
That's fine. But if he's a loser, then that means your country's losing. How do you feel now? Oh, big person. All right. So if I'm saying this, what I'm saying is that it's their it's in their best interest for this to be a failure. Like we can all agree there. The Democrats would obviously benefit if this excursion is a failure. So what they've done, if they've loaded it to where it's inevitable going to be a failure with people that are repeating these objectives that don't even exist. And because I have, and knowledge has this gift as well, like the memory of an elephant, we know what the actual objectives were from the beginning. So when people start adding things, they're like, nah, that don't even belong there. You guys are moving the goal. This is a traditional, example of moving the goalpost. We're going to do these three things. What about these three things? I never said I was going to do those three things. Yes, you did. What? I never said that. Yes, you did. You failed.
He did say that, though. Oh
my gosh. How does he not know the difference? Bima caught it.
Well, I'm definitely not as smart as Bima, so.
Yeah, that's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. That's a damn.
Look, he just put on his Truth Social. He said, we're going to decimate Iran, and then we're out of here. let's see how these countries fail when they have to figure it out themselves. Bro, that was a perfect setup. Like with this whole dramatic, nobody wants to help America. France, Germany, England, Spain, nobody wants to help America. This is this dude's opportunity to step out. They're like, oh, y'all don't want to help me? Cool, I don't want to help y'all either. Bro, this is like a blunder on the EU side. Especially when America's like the main financier, right? We fund everything.
Even if you pull out, I guarantee they're gonna be like, oh, Donald Trump got into a war and we lost. We lost the war because of Trump. Like, Christ, something like that gonna be said.
Why do y'all hate responsibility, bro? Why do y'all hate that shit so much?
We don't hate it.
Y'all wanted the job. You begged for the job. You fucking
Answer the damn phone call.
And we don't take drugs in this room. Can you change that?
shit.
Change that PTR.
I think that isn't that weight loss stuff.
No,
It's
it's not
Are you
weight loss.
alive? Make sure you check in with us.
Okay, Ethan, it's not the weight loss. I mean, I tried.
Bro, the idea that Incan takes all of these supplements and still sucks at debating, it's crazy. What a waste
Let me ask you a
of money,
question.
bro.
Right now, the comments in chat are saying
Bro.
Samoa is a genius. Samoa is reasonable. Samoa has good facts. Samoa has good resources. Or are they saying like Samoa needs a helmet with the padding on the outside?
Yeah, bro, but nobody's gonna line it up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Listen, bro. Chill out, bro. You gotta stop popping on my dick the moment I get on stage. It's kind of gay of you, bro.
Hey, let me just point this out, bro. You'll
I
never
just
hear
didn't
me.
answer what the fuck Dima's
All right,
asking.
thank you.
Oh
So
my God.
you'll never hear me get
Samoa,
so
we're
emotional
talking to you,
that
Samoa.
I'll start screaming about how I'm criticizing chillism. Like when you did that, bro, I was like, wow.
Bro, I was talking about people on stage, bro. I was saying, look.
Yeah, nigga, I was on
this
stage.
is the argument against running the chillism, right? Look, I'll say it again. You think I'm gonna be pussy out? Look, this is a
Bro, you shot me, bro. You're shooting innocent bystanders.
Listen.
He doesn't even care. Nigga,
Listen,
that's
if
how
the
you
shoe
wrong.
doesn't fit, bro, stop like trying to make it fit to everybody. Listen,
Bro, you just
I'm
did
keep
what
on
you
fucking
wanted.
that- I'm
You just
keep
shot
on fucking
everybody
that,
for no reason.
that saying just for knowledge. Listen, bro. Listen.
Well, you might
Okay,
not
how about my
be.
dick?
I do need to be on weight loss stuff. I am still fat, and I still
Oh,
am
what the
trying.
I can tell you
Come
that.
on, ladies.
No, Simone,
You're perfect just
I'm
the way God
trying.
made you.
And Simone had to call me out about what I was eating, so now I have to tell.
I did not call you out about
You did.
what you were eating.
You said, you said you're eating, and now I had to stop and think about. Oh my God, I am eating.
Bro, this isn't
Can I tell you
what
what happened? I'm gonna tell you. Because listen, I just went shopping.
This is a
And I got my
brain,
new
bro.
weight, and it's so bad because listen, I'm still like gawking. You do shopping, and then you just like sit with all your groceries, and you're like so excited, like pick them. Like that's what I've been doing. I'm just so excited. I got fresh organic mint. Fresh organic. I got these sardines. I got this. Oh, do you know what I got? Oh my gosh. I got from
Even moderation.
Spam meat. So most people love spam meat.
Oh no, it is in moderation. I eat once a day.
Processed as fuck.
Once a day. I know, but Islanders love spam because like.
hey, no judging Samoa, Jessica.
No, I have really good A1C. Not diabetic, pre-diabetic. Really safe. But listen, this is from. It's organic. Oh my gosh, organic dried mango, no preservatives, no added sugar from Burkina Faso. Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. It's so good.
Can I just point this out quickly?
My wife can eat anything she wants, and she can't get over 120.
Can't get
Bro,
it.
she
What?
stays under 120.
Tell her she needs to come stay with me for a week.
Yo, you know what it is? The blacks got good genetics knowledge.
There you go, the black. So a man says, hey babe, you're eating. A woman takes that and says, why are you talking about what I'm eating? And you're like, what? I said nothing about what you're eating. I said that you're eating. No, you're talking about what I'm eating.
That was
You're
yes, I know. I'm self-conscious. I am. Oh,
Thinking were you there when Matt was putting the smacks on Samoa?
I'm gonna take off this PTR and look at all the peptides that I got.
Bro, did you think that
So-
that's what was happening?
Oh my God, Samoa, let other people
No,
speak,
freaking-
bro. Beam is
Matt
asking me
snuck
about
out.
getting the peptide.
Bro,
Jesus
Matt
Christ,
died,
bro.
Yo,
You know
Matt
what,
snuck
Samoa,
out
you
of-
got it, bro. Obviously, you have the
Matt snuck
information.
out-
Beam will
Matt
ask
snuck out
me
of-
up. Go ahead, bro.
Matt snuck out of the room. He let freaking what's her name? Jessica try to save him. And bro, he just snuck out. Look, it was bad.
Matt? No, Matt doesn't run.
Bro, Matt
No, I didn't.
Matt was
No, I
using
did not.
Iranian talking points and he got caught.
I didn't, man. What are you using?
Oh!
What are you using?
Bro, I
And
watched.
Samoa, what are you using?
Listen,
Nasty word. Nasty word.
If I can just address Matt's
What talking
question.
points are you using?
All right, so let me just point this out. So what I use is Al Jazeera, I use Sky News. So I use like the EU's main accredited sources. I go to Australia, I go to the GCC countries, then America, and then Iran. And what I do is I have all 5 of these like on my actual template, and I'm able to see the perspectives that they have on like one topic. So I can see where Iran would say one thing, Israel's saying the exact same thing or talking about the same thing, but then the details kind of shift. And then I let Al Jazeera, English, and all these other ones kind of like parse that out so you can get as much information as possible. That's what I do. What do you do, man?
Yeah, so that's the difference between you and I, right?
Yeah,
You are
what do you
unable to. Oh my God. The difference
my God,
between you
Samoa,
and I-
let other people speak.
Right. So the difference between you and I is you watch the news and you formulate an opinion based on what people tell you. Me, I actually belong to several telegrams that will actually share the news and talk about certain things that you're not even aware, and that's why I can formulate an opinion based on what I'm seeing live. Listen, I get all the little AI videos. I don't even watch videos on X. I don't even do those. And those Telegram channels, we built them during the whole, Palestine thing because we couldn't upload stuff. And we literally have like people in Israel that's putting stuff on our Telegram that has not even hit the web yet. There's certain information that we get and we can analyze. I'm literally part of a group that do this, where we analyze things and look at all the evidence and look at this thing. I don't follow what the news say and repeat what the news says. I don't need to do that. I don't need to watch CNN and watch what they wrote, the prescript they write, and then, but yeah, CNN said. I don't give a fuck what CNN said.
All right, but then, Matt, how can you say I'm wrong?
And I will tell you this straight up. In war, the first thing that dies is the truth. If you're watching the news and listening to what Donald Trump is saying, what Netanyahu is saying, what the Iranians are saying, you're already in the lie. Because I understand how the propaganda works and how they are trying to appease to their claim. There's odds of gathering information and formulate your own opinion. And I will say this I think you have the basic knowledge to have a good conversation. It's the fact that you're not an honest interlocutor. That's what makes the conversation so difficult to have. I think you are the kind of person that we can bounce idea of and say, hey, listen, what do you think of this? What do you think is happening here? I think you can do that. But the fact that you might be wrong about something and you don't like to be wrong makes it impossible to have the conversation. I do, and I mean this sincerely, I do enjoy listening to your point of view. But I think if you could literally if you can literally take yourself out of it and just look at the situation for what it is, I think we would have much better conversation. Like the other day, we had a really good conversation because it wasn't personal, because you didn't take it personal. And I think if you do that, bro, we'll have amazing conversation about this.
All right, so let me just show you like how you're projecting your
Fight back, Samoa! Fight back!
So what happened was Samoa said, this is what Israel said about the 2 people that were hit yesterday. Somebody got off mic and said, that's a lie. I said, what? He said, oh, this person was actually killed at his daughter's house. And I said, all right, cool. You didn't hear Samoa say that's a lie. Samoa said, this is what the intelligence of the Mossad or like of the IDF said yesterday. That is a fact, right? And it took Jessica, even though you have like these far-reaching Telegram resources and all these
Yeah,
things
and
to
I'm
talk about,
old and all of that.
it took Jessica to read it to you Because you, for some reason, have a blind spot when it comes to what the intelligence community is saying on that side of the world. And I'm like, the only person that said somebody was lying was Matt. And Matt was absolutely wrong. Thank you, Jessica. Jessica had to enlighten you that you were wrong. You're the one that's in the rabbit hole, brother. You're the one that's reading this pro-Iranian propaganda where they say, hey, this guy was in this neighborhood with his daughter. A suburban neighborhood. Massive amounts of civilians. And the Americans unjustly came in and killed everybody. That's the narrative that like you fell for. You stop looking. Me, I don't stop looking, bro. I keep going. Wanna know why? Because I'm so much of a narcissist. I cannot be like wrong about something. Right? It's like if I'm talking about it, I should know about it. But let me just point this out, Matt. Were you wrong in saying that I was
Did he
wrong?
just admit he can't be wrong because he's a narcissist?
I'm sorry. Yeah, don't let the man All right, Matt.
You were wrong by reaping wrong information supported by media that also Jessica provided to the point where they said, well, that's confusion because we're getting two reports. The question you should have asked is, Matt, how do you know that he was visiting his sister? And I can tell you at exactly the time he died. He died at 5:14 Iranian time like yesterday. You know how I know? You want to know how I know that? Because he came across our telegram.
All right.
Before he was even on Twitter. Before he was even announced.
All right, so you told me I was wrong when I submitted.
Because you submitted wrong information.
Hold on. I said, this is what Israel said. You said, that's wrong. Did Israel say it?
No, I said the information is wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Is the information okay? Hold on. Hold on a second. If Israel said it's 2 p.m. now, you repeat, Israel said it's 2 p.m., but it's actually 3 p.m. Is the information right or wrong?
He didn't say it was right or wrong. He said this is what Israel said.
Right or wrong.
I'm saying the information is wrong. Now he wants to switch it to
No, you said I was wrong.
Yes, the information is wrong.
Oh my gosh. Bro, I'm not saying if the information is right or wrong. I'm saying these people said something.
Then why did you argue for the information then?
Buddy, you said
why did you argue for the validity of the information?
Buddy.
Hold on, did you not argue the validity of the information?
I'm not your pal, buddy.
Buddy.
Did you argue the validity of the
Come on, man,
information?
bro. Buddy, you said
See, once again, you can't be honest. You
Hold on,
can't be honest, bro.
Hold on, man. You bet $20.
Some more you won.
Come on, man. What are you doing, bro?
Because that's what you're looking for, so I'll give it to you. You won. I'm wrong, you're right.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
Don't do that.
Wait.
How many people say you're wrong?
I didn't hear it.
It's crazy.
Listen, I didn't hear it, okay? Can you say that again, man?
How do you say fuck you in Samoa? Listen, once again, I think once again, I think you doing a little philosophical thing to say that. Well, my point is the fact that Israel said it. Yeah, Israel said it and the information is wrong. And I'm saying that information you provided, whether you got it from Israel or anybody, that was the wrong information.
All right, how about this one? Did his daughter
Because you were trying to,
hold
hold on a second. And the thing is, you were trying to make the point that those guys are hiding. And that's why you brought that information with quote unquote the forest. And I said, hold on, that information is wrong because it came across when they hit the building when he got killed and they announced it. And the Iranian announced it literally an hour later when the body was found. That's literally the scale of event.
Let me ask you this question, Matt.
They did the funeral this morning.
All right, but let me ask you this question, Matt. If you know that Israel is bombing buildings that you happen to be at, right? You would say it's okay, let's keep going into these buildings?
No, listen, we can argue. Listen, in one of my tweets this morning, I said, the Iranians are both the smartest and the stupidest people on the planet, right? Because they keep doing things that we conventional people would not do. I would never go to my daughter's house while I'm in the middle of a fucking war. Are you out of your goddamn mind? But then again, I'm also applying the fact that, and I've always said this, culture means a lot for these people. They have their own queer. Dying is an honorable thing.
But that doesn't make any, because we can clearly see that.
Sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Because we can clearly see that their infrastructure, right, was built in. The cake is baked, it's built in for them to go underground. So that whenever there are areas that are getting hit, they have a place to go for safety. But when you say things like, oh no, they're so stupid, they're just gonna sit there right in the middle of opening. Yeah, shoot me, everybody. That doesn't make any sense.
What I said. Let me repeat what I said.
Oh, you just said that there's more than
so I can
stupid.
speak. Let's try and then I will repeat it so you can understand.
All right,
Once again, this is the dishonest interrogation that I can't really handle, bro.
All right, you said that they're the smartest and the stupidest people. Okay, you said that like for some reason these people will go into the areas that they know have a potential of like being bombed because they're that stupid. Even though these places like are being under like siege, right? They're literally getting bombed every single time. And you're saying that for some reason, I guess it's like their culture or whatever this is, their pride or whatever, they'll go underneath or they'll go into the same building. And I'm saying they've proven that they are not doing that. They've proven that the buildings that are being bombed are empty because they've created these silos or these bunkers underneath ground 300 meters just in case this happens. So they're not that stupid. They're pretty freaking smart. Now, what do you want to say, Matt?
Now, when I said they are both smart and stupid at the same time, did they create the infrastructure? Yes. Are they moving in a way to use the infrastructure in order to protect themselves? No, and that is the stupid part. There is no way on earth anybody in this room will be in a war and be visiting their daughter in the middle of the goddamn war when you know that your family is being severe. You know the Most High has tons of fucking agents in Iran looking out for you. The other day they were walking down the fucking street. Who the fuck does that? That's the stupid part.
Bro, doesn't that add credence to the narrative that the Israelis are saying? That because they know that they're being surveilled, that they're hiding in the woods in tents, and the only reason why Israel was able to find them because they had these family members being surveilled is because some Iranian person dropped the location.
Yeah,
they weren't even looking in the woods.
Yeah, they have tons of South Asian in Iran.
But you're making an argument that gives more weight to their side.
No, I'm not. That's not what I did. It's because if you don't understand it, I can repeat it for you again. Once again, and I said, these people has a fascination with martyrdom, which, by the way, I do not understand. I don't understand the martyrdom thing of like dying is the greatest honor, blah, blah, falling in battle. And I understand the cultural aspect of it. Do I agree with it? No. Do I think it's stupid? Yes. Because if you want to survive in a war, you got to do what you got to do. These people see them going inside a bunker, cowardice, while we see it as protection. They don't see it that way. This is why, even yesterday, the moment they found the body, they announced that he was died, someone else already took his place. So the next in line already went up, boom. His name is Sergio, right? Went up, boom. And that's the way they operate.
Let me just find like a weakness here, right? So why create this decentralized like military strategy of like the mosaic strategy, right? The reason for that is so that they could distribute like across their 31, I think it's 31 states or provinces, right? Where there's not a centralized power to be attacked, right? So they've already had the foresight to create the mosaic strategy, right? And you're saying right now...
The mosaic strategy doesn't pertain to martyrdom. It pertains to hierarchy and giving order. So for instance, the moment the war started, they put out an order that says, okay, everybody is going to be independent. You're going to make your own decision and you're going to fight your own battle. It's like, for instance, you're fighting 31 little armies. Which means if Army 1 in District 1 or State 1 falls completely, you still got like 32 little armies.
Absolutely. So like, if you look at
which means, exactly, but martyrdom has, that's two different subjects.
It's not. So like, if
how
you
is
think
it
about
not? Because the general from District 1 can die in battle, and then the general from District 1 again will stand up in the spot.
Yes, I totally understand. Wait on. I totally understand the strategy. What I'm pointing out is What you've just said is that they are like running to this opportunity to be sacrificed as like one entity. So it would make more sense for them to be centralized so that they could take this hit instead of.
Yeah, that's your logic. That's not their logic.
Gosh, bro.
Once again, he not on. Oh my god, this is crazy. Otherwise, they can just fucking stand in a
Is
line.
there a language
Let
barrier?
them up. Hold on a second. What you're saying is it's like they can just stand in a line and they can all get bombed together. Like you don't understand the idea of martyrdom. Martyrdom is not you getting shot just by standing there. It's you falling while in battle.
Okay.
It's something crazy.
Right. All right. So like the first 30 seconds of the conflict, 50 of their people get killed immediately.
Right. And then
You're saying
people rise up, and then they decided with them to
right.
apply the mosaic strategy of defense.
No, wait, hold on. So you're saying that these people, after 50 of their people get exterminated, they're just gonna put 50 of the next people in the same room.
Yes, because they have the hierarchies. Not in the same room. Why would they? Like, come on, you know what? And once again, this is the part. We can't have the conversation because I don't know if you're trolling. I don't know if you're serious. I don't know.
He's not. He's serious.
I don't know.
In the sense that he wants to have the conversation.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, see,
No. But he's not. See,
You gotta try.
well, let me just say this to you, Matt. He was talking about this, and he was talking about all the money I think we spent on like Ukraine, right? And then he mentioned how much money we've spent on this war, and in reference to that, he said at least we're having some fun with it. Samoa thinks this is fun. He thinks, you know, another
opposition.
No, Samoa. You literally said we spent all that money. You were talking about the amount of money we spent supporting the Ukraine war, right? And then we talked about the over $11 billion so far in a little over 2 weeks that we've spent on this war. And you said verbatim, I quote, at least we're having some fun with it. And then I was shocked because
Really?
yeah, like and you know what I mean? And that's some weird shit, Samoa, to think about this as being fun. And this is coming from somebody who's totally indifferent about it. I don't support Americans dying, boots on the ground, but I also know it's not within my control and my power, and whatever happens is gonna happen, and likely a lot of this is within biblical prophecy. And however it's gonna end, it's gonna end. So that's why I'm kind of just have a hands-off approach, or like don't really care either way, other than when it comes to American lives. That's like pretty much what we do.
Yeah, so
But Samoa, you did say that about the war.
What did you think
Hold on, you did say that this was fun. You referred to the war as us having fun, right? And I think it's a little it's not a good way to
was
do
I
it.
going to tell you what I meant?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a better way to say it, but I can't just.
Well, I can just tell you what I meant. I mean, it's pretty clear.
Okay, sure. So
We spent about 200.
I'm gonna leave just because I feel I'm Secretary.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up and leave.
You'll take care of it. I just can't say
All right,
anything.
look. We spent, let's say, approximately $200 billion for Ukraine. And all of, like, what we have here as Americans, as far as our military might, has not been on display. So the conversation was based on it being a performance for other potential opposition or potential combatants in war to see what we got. As far as our
That's why you said we're having fun.
Just hold on.
That's what you meant by that.
Hold on.
We're having fun. That's how that translates to that.
Yeah, just listen to what I'm
Just
saying.
got back. I'm gonna take a quick guess what Samoa did. He gave you
Just
a
shut up.
definition that wouldn't align with fun at all.
Yeah,
And probably
he's
let you
wrong
puzzle
again.
how in what world that would mean fun.
Yeah, he's
Am I
wrong.
right?
Again.
That's exactly what he did.
Let's go. I'll be back with further
Are you
predictions.
fucking-
Let's fucking go.
And you'll be
I
wrong
already
again.
said this is just an egotistical war for him, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
No, it's
He just
bad.
needs to not be
So
wrong.
you know
That's
how
all.
stupid this is? All right, here. Let me help like the people in the back, especially those.
Samoa, you have adult sons. If your adult sons
Can I finish?
were deployed and were in the military, would this still be fun? I am a moderator. Would this still be fun?
All right, that shit's crazy.
Come on, guys. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. Come on, man.
Insanity.
What's going on? All right, look, I'm saying this, right? If you're spending $200 billion on the Ukraine conflict, but you're not able to demonstrate the full capabilities of your military to those that might want to dethrone you.
The point of a proxy war is to not have to get involved. That's the whole point. You don't want to show your strength. You don't want to have to put your troops at risk. That's the whole point of a proxy war. Is to not be engaged in the quote unquote fun. Right? Isn't that the whole point?
No.
Imagine having power just to be an asshole.
It's fucking weird. It's like, bro.
Imagine not having any and still being an asshole because you don't have any power. I think that's even worse. Imagine having no power and being an asshole because you have no power. Imagine that. Imagine not having any power and being a fucking asshole, right? But go ahead, Samoa. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What is the point of misrepresenting my position? It's just wasting time. I don't understand, like, why you don't want to learn the position, because you'll probably agree with it in the context that's appropriately applied. So let me just point this out again. If we are going to, like, demonstrate deterrence for perceived adversaries like Russia, North Korea, or China, then you would want to demonstrate, like, your full capabilities and how advanced you are, okay? In Ukraine, you spent $200 billion. Were you able to do it? No. You were limited in what you were able to bring to the battlefield for whatever the reason, okay? You weren't able to show, like, the capabilities of our military. But for $10 billion, you were able to show the world the dominance of our full military weaponry capabilities, right? And that's the point that I'm making. I'm doing a cost analysis, concrete, like, what is it called again? A cost, what is it? Cost risk? Something like that.
Cost benefit analysis?
Cost benefit?
Thank you. Cost benefit. There. Jeez, what the hell? Cost benefit analysis, right? 200 billion, 40% of military might, 10 billion, 100% of military might. This is what you're projecting to the world as the superpower. And in that context, you can say, we're having fun.
You're an idiot.
You're showing dominance.
And you're stretching. Nothing about that is fun. But nice try, though. Nice try.
You're saving $190 billion.
And that's fun. War. Nothing about war should be defined or described as fun.
It's not
and
war.
It just shows that you, as a fucking Monday morning armchair quarterback who doesn't have any skin in the game, I'm talking about literal skin in the game. It's easy for you. It's easy for you to describe people dying as fun, right? Because it's all just entertainment for you. It's all just entertainment for you. That's all.
Why don't you try to address a position instead of running away from it? Who said anything about dying or war? I'm talking about demonstrating capabilities of military might. What the fuck?
My nigga, you ran from me though. I made a good, solid ass point, and you can't break it down.
From somebody, bro?
Yeah, you ran.
All right, then line it up.
Before you line it up, I got a question for you. Do you think, based on what you're observing currently, do you think the way we're gonna fight war is going to change?
Of course. Bro, you've obviously seen the drone game has changed, right? Like, we got the Lucas right now, $35,000 per, instead of using Tomahawk missiles that cost 1.2 million. I think it was 2.1 million, right? So yeah, it's changing, like, the way we're gonna do warfare. Of course. You don't think so?
Oh, I think there's going to be more changes. I think aircraft carriers have to become absolute.
Bro, look at the interceptor missiles. Like, the math is not working.
I think aircraft carrier is going to be absolute.
Oh, hell
I think it's going to be, moving forward, it's going to be a missile war. That's why we have not heard from the aircraft carriers, right? We have not seen anything.
No, the aircraft carriers is what carries these F-15s and F-16s and these F-35s.
We do it refueling over Saudi Arabia. But the planes are coming from Cyprus, and then they fly, and then they do refuel over Saudi Arabia.
No, you're talking about the bombers. No, you're talking about the bombers.
The 22s and the 35s, they get refueled. They are not launched from the aircraft carrier. They're not using
hold on,
aircraft
bro.
carrier yet. Yeah.
It says right here, bro, the Abraham Lincoln carries 200 airplanes.
I understand it carries 200 airplanes, but
so why carry the weight if you're not using them
they
from
are
the theater?
because they are 1,000 miles away from the
No, they're
target.
500 miles away from
They
the
are not.
target.
They will move back 1,000 miles. You see, like I said, you're not really getting the right information, brother.
All right, so it says right here. It says General Ford has went for repairs, fire in kitchen, whatever. It says Abraham Lincoln is still 500 miles away. Like this is like real time data.
They are not. I'm gonna go get the real time data for you because I don't want to say we. They are tracking those things. They are not,
bro.
They are not close to the border.
But she was trying to do that to me, bro. Did you see what she was trying to do to me, bro?
Because the thing is, it's like, remember when the aircraft carrier came into play in World War II? And I think now missiles gonna make them obsolete the same way battleship are obsolete. I think we in a new world now where if you don't have the proper missile, you will not be able to fight wars. The human might not be even involved in war fighting.
Yeah, it says right here. It says Abraham Lincoln 90. They got helicopters. They got Hornets.
I know what they have.
Yeah,
where are you getting that information for?
Oh, as far as like how far the Abraham Lincoln is from Iran?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just read it. It was approximately 500 to 700 miles away. This was Iran. Yeah, so this was an Iran person saying that's why their carrier is this far away. Come closer, something like that. But I can find it. I mean, maybe it was the president or something like that saying that that they don't want to engage. They're basically waving Trump in. Like, why do you guys talk so big when you guys are running away?
Right, and
that's basically like the sentiment of like the comment that they made. But it was 500 to 700 miles away was the actual number that they used.
Right, and that's why like when you do the math of the range of an F-22 1,600 miles, which means you need fuel to go 1,500 miles and 1,500 miles coming back. So aircraft carrier makes sense if you can approach the coast because they will have enough fuel to go do the mission and come back. But if you move the carrier back 700 or 1,000 miles, you won't have enough fuel. And that's why we're running all this refueling inside Arabia. It makes more sense to do it that way than to launch from the aircraft carrier because once you move the aircraft carrier 700 or 500 miles, now you're opening up yourself for those, torpedoes and hypersonics. Well, I forgot what they are called for the plane. And nobody wants to put the aircraft carrier.
No, hold on. But the carriers play like a defensive metric, right? Where things are being bombed over, they're able to shoot down these projectiles. Then they're able to like give radar to navigate the F-35s and the F-20.
They do, but the thing is, you cannot stop an hypersonic missile. And all they need to do is damage.
Bro, I don't even know if they even have one, bro. Do you even know if they have one?
Who has one? Iran? They use them already.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, they use them already.
Bro, I have not. I've been reading that they've been like, oh, the hypersonic missile, this and that. But I haven't identified like one of them from a accredited source saying, hey, this is this type of a missile. They have a dancing missile here that has like a quick response.
That's a hypersonic missile.
No, it's not. Bro, I even looked it up. It's not.
Dummy and ballistic missile can't do that because they don't have the capacity to do that.
So look, the ballistic missile they're talking about is called like the dancing whatever this is, but it's not categorized as a hypersonic missile. This one right here has a quick release time. It's a 2 solid, no buildup, super surprising whatever, and they break it down. But they haven't categorized this as a hypersonic missile. So I've heard and I've read people saying that they're using it. I haven't actually seen anybody say, hey, that's a hypersonic missile.
I wish I could invite you to my Telegram account, but no. So ballistic missile can be hypersonic.
You have to tell them.
Ballistic missile. No, it's a paid Telegram account, and we gotta get credit and stuff.
Yeah, plus they don't let engines in.
Jesus, bro, I had a people. You gave me secondhand embarrassment the way she whooped back your anyway. Can you go ahead?
Hypersonic. The difference between there's 2 types of missiles, ballistic and cruise. Cruise are the one that stays in our atmosphere, and ballistic goes out of the atmosphere. and then the reentry speed is what makes it hypersonic, where to the point where you can catch it. Then you can have cruise missiles that are also hypersonic. So those are the ones that are so fast that the computer cannot compute the math in order to catch them at the right angle to go intercept them. So that's why, for instance, you'll see there's like video showing the Patriot system or the sending of David. They will send like 4, 5 intercept after one missile. And that's because they can't. So they keep recalculating. They keep recalculating the math. Like one of my friends put it perfectly. This is a war between physicists and mathematicians because you have to go catch stuff.
I would love to be.
Yo, Matt, I'm gonna call you out. You gotta do it. I'm sorry, my brother, but yo, you know a little bit too much about these bombs. By any chance?
No, I love it. No. I like that.
Blink one. Let me learn. By any chance, do you own any land farm? And
No, I don't. No. I like military hardware. I love like this kind of things are fascinating to me. So I read about them a lot. Because I think it's.
Yeah, me too.
I think most of the technology we have today come from the military. War give us so much invention. So I'm always interested in what they have. You know what I mean?
Did y'all hear Inkin say me too? We're not talking about bow and arrows, Inkin. Relax.
Hey, yo, listen, I could give you a little bit more information than, just sticks. But look, I also care about, like, military hardware a lot. Like, I think it's pretty cool. Kind of nerd out on that shit. And I could just be, like, an asshole right now. Just be like, yo, fuck Samoa. But, like, I haven't seen anything from Western, right, about, like, the Fatah 2. That's, like, a big development of the hypersonic missiles. I haven't seen any confirmed from Western intelligence. I've seen, like, stuff from Iran and their allies. Obviously, I'm not going to, so all the attacks that I'm seeing, you could attribute it to, like, the dancing missiles, all these other missiles, right? But I've yet to see where, like, oh no, that's, like, for sure, like, hypersonic missile. Like, I haven't seen anything yet. Like, no video.
Like the U.S. has a very cool missile. It's an hyperbaric bomb where it explodes like 2-3 miles above the target, and then it sucks the air in, and then it pushes out. It looks like a nuclear bomb. That's how big it is. And those things are like, you can destroy like towns with just one bomb.
Second. I'm just shooting jumps up my butt.
Yo, Sumo, how you feel about the say back?
Lincoln broke up at the perfect time. All we heard was up my butt.
I said I'm shooting.
Hey, that's where everybody was yesterday, bro. That shit was epic,
Yo, what the fuck?
This dude got.
Check out the links.
Bro, the way the way everybody's doing you, bro, people don't think they like it, bro. You can be like at the attic going through the room. You gotta charge
That shit ain't gonna work, bro. Like, you and I are like different levels, bro. You're like Papua New Guinea, and I'm.
Are you talking about me?
Just saying.
American Samoa and like.
Hey, what were you saying still?
Did you hear about what they doing in the Senate about that SAFE-Act?
Yeah, I think the SAFE Act's a good idea, bro. I don't know why anybody has a problem with photo ID, bro. Like, this is like a stupid hill to die on, bro. Like, why would anybody want more secure elections?
It's not photo ID, it's a passport. You have to prove that you're of American citizenship.
That's fine.
But not every American has a passport, though.
That's retarded. I got all my kids' passports at the age of freaking 3 and 4, bro. It's not a difficult thing. You gotta drive.
We have Americans that, hold on, we've got American citizens.
You gotta drive maybe 5 to 15 minutes away. Oh my God. It's gonna cost you maybe 30 minutes to an hour of your day. Oh my God. You're gonna have to wait about 3 weeks. You're gonna have to wait about 3 weeks. Oh my God. This is such an impossible task. Stop being lazy. No, you're all lazy people. No.
You're on me, your mic is up.
Yeah, it is. I can't really hear you, but I prefer it that way. But we can't.
Your passport for your kids, were they free? Did you have to pay for them?
Yes, I paid.
Okay, so there's a barrier to entry.
years. Oh, make up.
Bro, I don't think you understand this country, bro.
Oh, that's
I don't think you understand some people's situations in this country, my guy.
I can't make $50.
Let me give a better argument.
Yes, $50 for some Americans is a steep price just to be able to vote. You know what's gonna end up happening if they can't make that? They're just not gonna vote.
Knowledge is
Right now, not because they're unable to or unwilling to, it's because there's a new barrier of entry that has been set up. Right? That's you say that.
Homeless guy makes more than $50 a week. You're telling me someone in America
Shut that shit up, nigga.
can make
You know, not all
$50
Americans
in 4
get.
years?
Hold on.
In 4 years?
Speed this. Yes, some Americans cannot get a U.S. passport due to legal, financial, or citizenship-related issues. Common reasons for denial. Hold on, brother.
This is true.
Hold on, brother.
Maybe they shouldn't vote then because majority of the country
Brother,
can.
snowflake, brother.
on.
Snowflake, summer is upon us.
Hold on, because you guys
Sorry,
are
not sorry.
happening.
Maybe majority of the
This is
Is there a queue or y'all just gonna all talk over each other? What we doing here? What we doing?
We need a cue. What the fuck is going on?
Reasons for denial.
Throw me in the queue, Don.
Common reasons
No,
for
no
denial.
cue. Wait, one mic on steel.
I'm at the steel.
No queue. Don't start.
knowledge is there's no cue. Knowledge going out the gate.
Silence me in a word that fucking Mexican black American. Get behind me, Satan. You're rebuke.
Please, no queues. I'll shut up. No queues, please.
Oh, no
The
cues,
issue
man.
with the SAVE Act and the way to prove you're an American citizen, if they're even like a regular license. Like, we can say we all have a license, right? We don't all have passports, right?
Oh, God. I don't want to do queues. Please, no
I
queues.
want to hear.
Go ahead, Steele.
Beat this. Knowledge is robbing a car right now, and he thinks that he should have the right to vote.
You wanted to, for that
was
shit?
That was denial.
Come on, Angel. Come on, just go to your
I paid $200 for that.
Hold on. So it says common reasons for denial include owning over $2,500 in child support, having seriously delinquent tax debt, holding felony convictions, having outstanding federal/state warrants, or being unable to prove U.S. citizenship. So if I think we should have barriers to entry to get a passport, I think we should also have barriers to entry to vote, such as people who are not politically literate. If you want to keep it a buck, let's continue the standards. If you are not educated, you should not vote. Let's run
Donald Trump is not
Yeah, so we're arbitrarily,
it's like so when it impacts you, right? You can't say, oh well, I got $1, I got a passport, $50, $1. Well, you know what? In some places, you can probably make an argument that if you can afford $50, you can afford community college too.
and you know what the thing is? I'm sick of these dishonest actors pretending that the SAVE Act is some, well, if you don't support this, you don't support election integrity. No, you're fucking dishonest and a liar, right? Well, if you do support the SAVE Act as it is, in its current iteration, what you are supporting is a barrier to entry for a lot of Americans to vote. You're not that's democratic and which is
Louis, can I say something?
support this.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on.
No queue, please.
No queue, but listen, we have people waiting to speak. No queue, okay? But I wanted to speak, but Stu got in, and Mr. Finley wants to speak. Now Miss Fifi wants to speak, right?
Sounds like a queue.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
Okay, so hold on.
Before we start, some more.
No,
Look
come on
at
now.
that expose.
I just wanted to
This
shit
is
talk.
the dumb stuff that they do when I'm talking about. Why is this guy walking down on the street?
So go ahead, Don.
All right.
Put it in the chats. Who goes first? And so on.
You know, the queue is 2 minute submissions.
All right, that's good.
Yes, let's do that.
All right, that's good. I'll put it in there. Listen, before you guys get all crazy and say everybody should have one, although I agree, personally, I know that not everyone will be able to have one, especially people that should have the right to vote, right? like my father, who served his country, who was born here, born in a house, right, with no birth certificate, right? Till this day, he served his country. He was a Fed, okay? Ask me how that happened. I have no fucking clue. And cannot get a passport to save his life. Can't. So he can't leave the country, but yet he served and worked for the federal government and can't leave to go vacation and enjoy his life. So before you guys say all this shit, can't afford it, all that, I agree with that too. But we have people that should be able to vote in their right minds, have done all this shit for their country and can't get a passport. So it's ridiculous. That should not be a requirement. Going to Mr. Finley.
Yeah, we know these people are being dishonest because they're trying to simplify this. Oh, you just need an ID. That was their fault, right? Because there was this fake in-person voting fraud that was happening that wasn't happening, right? They're being dishonest. No, this is essentially a new poll tax, right? My wife would have to replace her passport because I've only been married for 3 years. She had just gotten her passport before we got married. So now, if we were to adhere to that, she would have to get a new passport. It was $120. It takes, I don't know how long the process. So she would have to incur a fee, right, in order to vote. That is a poll tax. It is a poll tax. It's a freaking poll tax, right? Well, you know what the state of Wisconsin did to answer to the voter ID requirement? They just made IDs free. And you know that the Republicans in the state had a heart attack? Well, why are we doing it free? Because Wisconsin said, well, if we're requiring voter ID, right, people that have to pay, because IDs aren't free, they got to pay for them, right? Because the county IDs that were issued by the state weren't legitimate for voting. Only the state issued identifications and driver's license were required, right? Or eligible rather, right? And so they made them free. And so I propose, right, that if you're going to insert this new poll tax, then make passports free. Expedite them and make them free, right? And if you are in line for a passport and you want to vote, right, then fine. Give me a provincial, what's it called? The ballot call, the one where you can place it and then they prove it on the back end if it's legitimate or not. Then, you know what I'm saying, then do that, right? But they're not going to do that because the goal here is to suppress the vote. Suppress the vote. I'm going to land at this point. You want to see voter suppression in action? Texas has some of the strictest voting laws in the nation. I think they're number one and number two. Look at the amount of eligible voters versus the amount of people that actually place votes in Texas, and it is crazy. This is a red state, an integral state, good, clean. You know what I'm saying? But that's the goal. And if you say otherwise, you're being dishonest, and the stupid ID to vote is just being dishonest.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Nonsense.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Hey, who's that?
Your crossovers now.
Did you need to speak before me? Was it Oleg or Red Worm? I'm sorry.
No, he was just crying. He was just crying, Miss Phoebe. You got it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take my time with this because half the time when folks are talking, I'm get back to Mr. Simmons' point, but it's just like a whole bunch of talking and it's just what I call filibustering. Anyway, when I heard what was in Phil saying, you have to have a passport in order to vote. Let me first say this: I had my passport before some of you were born in the '90s, so let's get that straight. I think, like Mr. Finley said, I think if that's the case, it should be free. But let me go back. That's a part of gerrymandering. And that's why it hit me so bad when you said, oh, you need a passport. Because primarily, a lot of folks don't have passports. They hide shit now, So I know you probably was just giving an example, and I know this, but I just think it's important that we bring that up. As part of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, when Black Americans gained stronger legal protections of vote. I only say that because the majority of folks are Black and poor people. The poor people, they don't have any passports. Make it free like their ID. And if you lose it, then you have to pay. I think that's my sister. Let me see if there's anything else I have to throw up. All right.
Okay, Miss Fifi, that's what's up. I think too, my main thing, I think a lot of us have lost the plot. The whole reason why they're introducing these barriers to voting is to solve a problem that does not exist. Voter fraud is not a problem, right? So I think like the real thing is, the way that I would address this is to be like, okay, Donald Trump's complaining about voter fraud. So you cannot substantiate that claim. I don't give a fuck, right? So where I'm coming from on this whole thing is, there is no voter fraud problem. Whatever idiot gave me a thumbs down cannot substantiate a voter fraud problem. So all of this is stupid bullshit. It's like if I tell you, we need to spend money to stop the Smurfs from destroying Scooby-Doo. That's not even a real thing. That's not a real thing. Like, what you're complaining about is not a real thing. So, like, this whole bullshit is stupid, in my opinion, right now. And I agree, Finley's making points. If you're going to create these barriers, it should be free to access it. I appreciate the 2 minute limit, Louis. 2 minutes makes sense. I'll end it.
Yo, Alessandro, if you really cared about America, you would smurf me some votes.
Yeah, just need to find a few votes.
Isn't the poll, isn't what you were saying, Mr. Finley, where it costs money to vote, isn't that unconstitutional?
Yeah, it's a poll tax. Poll taxes are unconstitutional, and I don't think this will pass anyways, but if it does, be challenged on that grounds. That's why Wisconsin changed the law. They made IDs free, voter ID, for that very reason. Because the state Supreme Court was challenging Wisconsin's new voter ID law, and on those grounds they were able to pass it, and the Republicans backed off. My whole thing is this: if conservative values are so great, Republicans are so great, right? Then why all these barriers? You know what I'm saying? Because the argument is that, well, the Democrats are cheating. They're cheating. When we win, they didn't cheat, but when they didn't win, they cheated. That's one of the dumbest mind games. But it works. It works. It gets Republicans lathered up and lathered up in this frenzy that they truly believe it, that they're losing because the other side is cheating. When these people don't read history books, they don't understand the political pendulum and the partisan pendulum. They don't understand it. They don't understand how it works. And it's sad, but I blame money in politics, and I blame education system, because in America it sucks.
Well, that's crazy. Okay, I don't know about the passport part, but it's that simple. You should have a valid driver's license, ID, form of ID, that they can scan and prove that it's you. But you know when you go to a place to buy shit, fair place to scan you and make sure it's real. It's not a fake ID. Like, it's that hard? Like, do you think people should just go and just be like, yeah, I'm here to vote, and just give it, and that's it? Like, I really don't get it, it's crazy. And then there's people, but you know how many times I went out to places where it's required to have ID, like whether because they have alcohol or they have tobacco, whatever, and you have to have your ID. Bro, there's still people, it blows my mind, how you fucking leave your house without ID. They fucking come here and they're asking, I need to see if you're over 21. Oh, I don't have my ID. Like, what's wrong with you people? No, seriously, what's really wrong with you? You leave your house without ID? That's bullshit. Something's wrong with you. That's a fact.
Something's wrong with you that you don't
have your ID.
argument.
If you leave your house and you don't have your ID, something's wrong with you. Okay? It's not that hard. It really is not. We're not gonna fucking go to vote and not show that who we are. But that's all we're asking. Everything else could be extra. I get it. You guys can argue they're trying to add extra shit, whatever. But to prove that it's you and an ID.
Reverend is proving my point about the education system. He's proving it.
I'm proving it. How am I proving it? How am I proving it when you're dumb? What does your dumbass want to do? No, don't do Q. You call next, but I'm not done. He's talking to me.
Stop speaking, and then he said something.
No, I stopped speaking because Jessica said something. She was cutting me out.
Being
So how does that
you weren't
work?
done. That's why you're entertaining his question because you're not done.
So how does that work, Finley?
Are we going to the queue?
How do you want people to go
going to the queue or what?
There's no queue. I mean, you would
I
just thought
called
that
after you. That's the
Y'all gotta
You'll go
respect
next.
murder in here for
Are you done?
You'll go next. There's no
Are you
queue.
done?
I'm
You
not
were done,
done.
bro.
I'm not
Are you
done.
gonna
I'm
pretend like
asking
you weren't done?
Finley. I'm asking
You
exactly.
were-
See, this
you
is what
weren't
the game
done?
y'all played. Finley
You
says
weren't
some
done?
stupid shit. And
Not
that's
a cue,
Are you
let
done?
Red Rum finish.
He
I'm
was
not
done.
done. Can you prove me
He
when I say
landed
I'm
his
not
plane.
done?
Why are you lying, bro?
Finley, what do you mean by that when you say I approve my point? How do you want to go when you go vote? How do you want them to
Because
know?
that isn't even the argument.
No, but
That's not what the
that's
SAVE Act is
all
talking
my
about.
argument. So what are you talking about when you say that stupid comment?
Because you're arguing something that has nothing to do with the SAVE Act. You prove my point.
But how is that
I'm gonna leave it there.
when I'm talking to you about what I believe?
I'm not gonna waste my time.
I didn't bring up the SAVE Act, so I don't know what you're talking. I'm talking about what I believe.
So you're making a separate point. So you're making a separate point that. So you're making a separate point that's irrelevant. Got it.
It's not irrelevant. I'm telling you what I think it should be required to go vote.
It's already a requirement in many states, sir. Moving on.
In many states, should be in all states.
No, states are allowed to do what they want to do, fam. I'm done.
Right.
Are you done now,
Go
Ray?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you done? So look how we normalize fucking lying amongst people who call themselves Christians. Just because they wanted to do a little get back, right? That's pathetic, Red Rum. You should be better than that. But
Okay, how many more minutes do you talk about
nobody's holding
to get to
you.
your point?
Nobody's holding you accountable.
All right, I'm gonna make you talk about me for the next 30 minutes, you guys.
Stop being a weirdo. Stop being a weirdo.
Talk about me.
Stop being a weirdo. You're not
I'm
a
gonna make
victim.
you talk about me for the next 30 minutes.
You're not a victim.
Just
You're
hit
just
the
an
nail on
asshole.
the head, concrete.
You're not a victim. You're
Yeah,
just
talk
an
about me.
asshole. You're not a victim.
I know.
You're not a victim.
Concrete, do you think
Go on you,
if
bro.
the rules were, do you think that the rules were reversed, you would have been, everyone would have been thrown down, or would you have been a merciful?
Bro, we're not. Look. We're gonna do this. So chillism is a microcosm where niggas don't hold themselves accountable, but they want power, right? So Red Room wants power.
I told you I
Does
didn't
not
wanna
hold
talk
himself
about it.
accountable. Does not hold himself accountable. Wants to hold up his banner. Oh, I'm Christian. Oh, I'm a good person. Oh, but I'm also an asshole when I want to be.
Yeah.
So that's the
Right, all
problem.
that.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
How many
with
more minutes?
weakness.
It's our
That's the
problem.
problem with.
Anyone wants to take bets on how many more minutes?
Nobody wants to hold you accountable. You don't even hold yourself accountable, right? You're like
How
a
many
waste
more
of time.
minutes?
Go on mute, bro. Stop interrupting. Stop. You're supposed to be shot by now. You keep interrupting. We're in a queue. You violated a queue, and now you're violating my queue.
There's no queue.
Right? There is a queue.
No, there's no queue.
You're supposed to be shot right now. So again, the whole point is, no, it's not. It's a fucking queue, John.
No, it's Samoan, then it's me.
It's going on.
There's a queue. There's a
This is
queue.
fucking.
I thought it was clearly established by Gustavo that there was a queue, right?
This shit is crazy, bro. Why can't y'all be normal?
Just go, concrete.
Don, Jessica, don't talk to me.
I'm telling you, man.
Don't talk to me. Go on mute. Stop fucking violent.
Look at the Christian curse.
So this is, oh my God, cursing is fine, you fucking idiot. Bro, this shit is crazy. Anyway, you want a booty clap for Red Room. Red Room's violating the queue, violating my
So how many more minutes?
And you want to be, and you can't, stop.
Still talking about me instead of talking about the topic.
Stop what we're talking about. You're gonna cry when I do it to you, right?
Prove my point.
You're going to cry when I do it to you. You landed your plane, you took back flight because Philly said something, and then you lied that you weren't done, right? You got, like, sometime or another, you in your adult life have to fucking be a normal human being. And that's the problem that's seeping into our politics. That abnormal people like you with no accountability, no fucking moral stance, abnormal people like you with no accountability, no moral stance are implementing rules, right? That's the problem. It's not an education thing. Shut up, bro. It's not an education thing, Mr. Friendly. It is a lack of fucking morals. These fucking weirdos are creating boogeymen, as fucking Alessandro said, unsubstantiated fucking fear, and then are hindering good, clean, normal Americans from doing it. Oh, because you can do $50. But guess what? Still showed us the slippery slope from the $50. Can you fucking pass a competency test? Uh-oh. Do you have a degree? Uh-oh. Do you own land? Uh-oh.
5 minutes.
Shut up, bro. Shut the fuck up,
On
bro.
the topic of
Yo, I can't
conversation.
believe this. I can't believe this.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. Like, you're obsessed with talking
And when
about
I
me.
when I do it to you, you're going to cry. When I do it to you, you're gonna cry.
We can cry
That's the
together.
problem. Shut up, bro. You soft ass bitch.
We can cry together.
You soft bitch. Shut up. You fucking fragile bitch. I'm sorry you're fragile.
Your daddy was a soft
I'm
ass
sorry
bitch.
you're fragile. I'm sorry you're fragile. You crybaby bitch. Letting everybody know that your feelings are hurt. Because you got spoken about, you faggot bitch.
Your daddy was a faggot bitch who raised a
I know. That's why you're sitting here crying.
Are you still talking, Concrete?
Yeah,
I'm
he's still
done.
talking about me.
Can I make a quick point just to Red Rum's point when
yeah,
I came off
yeah.
mic?
Y'all gonna let this brother land. Let
He said he was done, Alessandro. He said he was.
I don't want to hear that shit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you done?
Can I go or no? Is
Yeah,
it you?
No. Q. You can spot though, everybody else is. Yeah, so let me just point out a couple of things here. Louis mentioned something about the states having like the rights to do whatever. I think Finley said something like that as well. This is specifically for federal elections. There is a descriptive.
Louis said nothing like that during this conversation.
Oh, well, my apologies. Let me go ahead and retract that. I'll just give that to Finley. All right, cool. So Finley is basically saying the state. Damn, bro, don't you get like a butthole to sew back together from yesterday? Fuck. All right. Anyways, back to the point. I don't think. Come on, bro. I don't think there's a. Can we shoot him down, please? Can we like implement Nathan's new rule? I don't understand what the problem is. You just seen what happened to Concrete. Come on, bro. What was I saying again? Oh, yes. Would anybody have a problem if states fell in line and said, hey, in order for you to acquire a driver's license or a state ID, you would have to show birth certificate or proof of citizenship. Then everybody that has a photo ID would be allowed to vote, right? A state ID. We got something called real ID. Nobody had a problem with real ID. Why don't you guys have a problem with real ID? I can't fly because of the passport costs this much money. I can't fly because I gotta pay this much money for another ID. What was the smoke for that? No, nowhere? Okay, cool. So, if we were to say that our elections are the most valuable thing that all of us kind of share, and how our country is going to, I guess, be created or policies implemented for future generations, then this is where we should put a lot of our investment. And if it's for federal elections specifically, I don't see a problem with people being like, bro, you walk into a bank, you got two forms of ID. You jump on an airplane, you got to show your real ID. So this is just the times. This is the way the world's working at the moment, and there's vulnerabilities everywhere, right? You got Iran trying to hack into our like systems and stuff like that. So why are we not carrying the same of conviction when it comes to securing our waste? For every illegal ballot or undocumented person that makes a mistake and votes, takes away from one legitimate vote. One illegitimate takes away from one legitimate. It's as easy as that. So why not?
Can I go after you, Simone? My bad.
No, I'm next.
Oh, that's true. It's really Inkin's in the first place, so fuck you, Simone, but I'll go after Inkin.
Look at that. Turncoat ass nigga. Kissing ass when he thinks he's gonna be able to.
The current queue is going to be Samoa, Incan, Fifi, Riaba, Concrete, Edenis, Jessica,
Get in the queue.
Lufa, Mr. Fifi, Steel, Cogito, Matt, Fema, Revrum, and then Alessandro.
Look at that. See? You're rewarded for your treachery. You're rewarded for your turncoatedness. Right? Oh, Samoa, I really want to go after you. Fuck you, Samoa. Oh, fucking. See, this is what happens when you drink out of those fucking plastic bottles, bro. These microplastics are killing the testosterone and masculinity of our, like, people and shit. Not good shit.
It's a little meow, man. Damn. Are you, dude?
Damn, bro. Let me see, what was I at? Oh, yes. If the federal government says, hey, man, we're going to give everybody a free ID, so you can vote. One that has like a security QR code or something like that, so that we 100% can show that you are the person that's voting. Would anybody in here have a problem with that? Anybody? All right, thank you.
Well, did I say yeah? Because you know how difficult some people can't afford. Some people can't afford a bus ride to go to the places to receive the ID. You guys think about people who can't afford the bus rides.
We'll mail them to you.
Gotcha.
We'll
So-
mail them to you.
Alright.
Yeah, but some
You
people work 2 or 3 jobs. They don't have the time to fill out the paperwork because they work 2 or 3 jobs. And they don't have the time to fill out the paperwork.
Alright, you all done? You all good?
Let me go after line.
Cool. Alright, got that. So, that was a whole bunch of nothing, right? Then, like, all he said was like, oh, maybe there's a threat. No, world today, scary world. Maybe we need to do this, right? Could have said, like, here, look at the statistics. It's a fraud. We don't want to repeat what happened here where we had, like, blank election. Like, I think that there's a bigger case about when fucking solar rays hit this election in fucking, I don't know if it's Switzerland or Sweden and changed one of the numbers because the way that, I don't know if it's like nuance or fucking some other subparticle hit some computer and it changed the digit, changing that, right? That seems to be something more substantial than whatever the fuck Trump is talking about. Like, literally, the number that it got changed to by a fucking sunbeam hitting it, right? Changes to the point, it made the number change to, like, a bigger difference of whatever Trump is claiming. That's how preposterous it is. So, like, all that Samoa is doing is like, oh, scary, right? Also, I just want to address really quickly, Samoa said I'm not on his level. I did get peptides, so maybe I'll be on his level. I'm currently injecting 50% lead and 50% retard juice, so maybe we'll be able to have like a fruitful conversation.
Get a ladder!
What's going? Can someone shoot him, please? All right. So anyway, I do want to point out that what Alessandro is saying is like, factually correct. The problem they're trying to hearken to is not a real problem. We know why this is being pushed. If we would put anything that we would think that Democrats are more likely to have, immediately Republicans were quite foul. And I think that it goes to show that if you're popular, if you believe that you really are working in the interest of the people, is it also in your interest to facilitate people voting for you, right? Not like trying to limit that number. What's going on? What's going on, bro? What's going on? It's always these people that never figured out how to put sticks in stones and therefore keep on breaking their bones. Anyway, so you would definitely be in favor of more people making it accessible, because the more people, the more votes you'll get, right? And if it's the case that, well, you're worried about fraud, you should have some statistics to be able to, like, back that up. Not some inference, like, don't you think, giving, like, that anything can happen in our universe. One illegal Mexican, one corrupt politician, 7 million disproportionate votes. Like, oh, this is fucking retarded, right? And that's all that we're fucking hearing. Retarded points, no statistics, just a bunch of fear-mongering. Trust me, bro, we live in a different world. It's different. They can't afford this. Obviously, the problem is the barrier of entry. Why are we putting a barrier of entry that disproportionately is going to affect one side than the other? Especially when, like, the political parties are just two. It's one or the other. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? It's not like we're in Europe where we have multiple political parties. We're like, oh, I wonder who this could affect. What political party could this affect? This is not in the interest of any political party. It's fucking stupid. It's retarded. And you should have the decency of having enough data to try to substantiate some change like that, right? I don't know what y'all talking about, like voter ID. I got a real ID. Real IDs have like the same process generally as passports. Passports are, I don't know where you'll see $50, might cost $200. I don't know if that was like for some expedited shipping or whatnot. It's not as easily accessible. Not everybody's going to go downtown. Look at the percentage of Americans that have American passports. Go check that out. Go see if you would be comfortable if right now only that percentage of the population voted, right? Just be like, okay, cool. This is obviously that your reaction is going to be no, right? If you're like a decent person to believe in democracy. So I don't know where these arguments are. It's going to devolve into you can't even save enough for this. That's crazy. No, people are either not going to do it, not have the time of day. But your argument is going to be the following. Because they don't do that, they don't deserve to what? They don't deserve to vote, right? That's where your argument's going to fall on its face, right? Because it's the right to vote, right? There are special conditions, like if you're a felon, like if you're not a U.S. citizen. Now you're going to tell me because you didn't go at like such and such time and do this longer process, they got added. Now you can't vote? Yeah, get the fuck out.
Okay, am I next?
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead, Miss Fifi.
All right, all
Hey,
right.
where am I in the queue? Hey, Miss Fifi.
Hey, yo, can you let Miss Fifi go? Why are you being so
How you doing, Miss
disrespectful?
Fifi?
I'm sorry,
I
Miss
just wanted to
Fifi.
say hello,
Go ahead,
Miss
Miss
Fifi.
Fifi. This guy just had his turn.
Well,
It's total.
I want to use my time to just, let everyone know that it is very important to vote. Make sure you have voter education, for those, and help those who may not get that information, who can't even go to the post, may not have a ride, or, like you guys are saying. There are opportunities and ways that you can help those who may not can get to the polls, those who may need education about what they need. So if you guys are really concerned, you will go in your local area and find out what you can do to help. We do not need gerrymandering. It's almost like having folks count bubble gum. Guess the number and then you need to vote. It's very silly. And you have poor folks on of all races here in the United States. So, there's a lot of folks who are struggling trying to get this downtown. But there are opportunities if you know where to find those resources to get them what they need to get to those locations. I hope that made sense. I'm rambling. I enjoyed the conversation.
I thought your submission was great. Good job.
Is it my turn?
I think I'm next in the queue, Samoa.
Oh my God.
Unless it's Bima ahead of me.
In what world is a passport $50?
Agreed.
Wait,
So, Samoa, I think it's me next queue.
I was going to answer the question. Okay.
Yeah, it was a rhetorical question. He knows.
How do you know that?
I know it's not $50.
Thank you. So roughly 21 million Americans lack ready access to documents, proof of citizenship. These are not non-citizens. They're American citizens who would effectively lose their right to vote because of bureaucracy document requirements. The group most affected are disproportionately elderly Americans born at home with no hospital birth certificates, low-income Americans who can't afford passports, Black Americans in southern states where birth records from the Jim Crow era are incomplete or lost, women who change their names at marriage and face mismatch between documents, and Native Americans who lack conventional identity documents. So what this SAVE Act issue is, the SAVE Act is a solution in search of a problem, not a fucking, solving any problem that currently exists. There are very low, because it's against the law for non-citizens to vote, it's very low or non-existent, almost zero instances of non-citizen voting. So this whole fucking thing is a way to disenfranchise millions of legitimate citizens, Samoa. And the fact that you want to stand up here and vote for this bullshit or continue this disgusting attempt to disenfranchise your fellow Americans is really gross. And Red Rum, to your point, the reason I had come off mic previously is because you acted like it's just an identification that is required. Well, that is not true. It is a passport, or it is a real ID that also requires the birth certificate, which I can repeat if you'd like me to repeat the people that are 21 million Americans that are affected by this. And the fact that you guys want to take that away from people is gross. So I land.
Thank you, Jessica. I actually completely
Hey, can I just offer a fact check really quick? So a passport card for a minor, what Knowledge was talking about, is $50.
Correct.
An adult passport card is $65. You guys need to start looking to be educated and stop all this grandstanding. Stop it!
It's not grandstanding, it's standing up for disenfranchised citizens.
No, actually, you know what's funny? I was talking to one of my clients, and she's like, yeah, I need to get a real ID. I go, what is that? She was explaining it to me. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, shit, I gotta get one too. Guess why she needed it?
Why?
Why? To travel in the United States.
Yeah, you can't enter the airport without it.
Disenfranchise the fucking
Where you wanna go? Hey, things change, and guess what I said? I was like, oh, guess what I said? I said, oh shit, I gotta get on that. And you know what? I live in a bubble. I don't even travel. I hate traveling. I like doing my thing, but I was like, I need to get one because I want to travel. I didn't cry about it. I'm gonna go do what the fuck I takes. Guess why? Because I have a birth certificate, and I can fucking just understand the cost-benefit analysis of having something versus not. If you don't care about it,
How long would the Save Act take to be implemented, by the way?
All right, so you guys just reiterate and reinforce my point, which is that it does cost. It's not free. So long as it's not free to get these documents, you're creating and you're erecting a barrier to entry of our democratic process.
Right,
Do you agree or disagree with that?
Then we'll pay for it.
Do you agree or disagree with that?
We already said, yeah, we'll pay for it. Look.
Yeah. Here, I'll give you a
Okay,
right now.
so there is a barrier that exists.
And so,
The Save Act then.
What the fuck is up?
Hold on,
You guys are like so excited. No, you're fucking, you have no leg to stand on, so you have to overtalk me.
If America pays for it, are you okay with it?
That nigga Knowledge did that shit, not me.
Christ.
If America pays for it, are you okay with it?
No shit, dickhead. That's what I fucking just said.
No, that's
if it were the case that it was a shut up. Shut the fuck up, bro. If it were the case that it was a free document that you just get, then yeah, there's no barrier to entry. Any American can get it. But so long as there's a price attached to it, that's a barrier. I could be dirt poor, right? It could be that $50 and it's around $55 for the record. With all the thieving, it actually comes up to like 60-something bucks. But like, if I don't have that, then I'm just shot. I can't vote, and that's anti-democratic. Any law or a fucking act that stands to like like Jessica said, disenfranchise voters who otherwise would be like perfectly fine to vote, like that's anti-democratic.
Didn't you say this isn't a democracy? You said this is a republic. You said it's a republic, not a democracy.
I was in the queue. I was next.
You told me yesterday.
It was me. It was Jessica, and then it was me.
Making legislation stands to alienate voters, rightful voters. I know it hurts you. I know it hurts you, and you have nothing to say to this. So you're just gonna try to overtalk me, but I'm still gonna go, right? So as long as you're, so as long as it's not free, yeah, you're disenfranchising voters. And when you're disenfranchising voters, those who fake and feign like the Save Act is to protect election integrity, you're liars, and you hate democracy.
Thank you, Louis. So yeah, I think that I'm gonna agree. I kind of fall in the middle. I think that there should be you should have voter ID when you vote, right? But it has nothing to do with illegals. You have to be in the poll book. You have to already have registered to vote and have provided all of your documentation necessary to vote in order to be in the poll book. You've already provided and identified yourself as a U.S. citizen. You've been approved, right? This is there's many layers of checks, right, that you have to pass in order to be in the poll book. So this SAVE Act, what it does, it to, like Jessica said, like Louis said, it's going to disenfranchise people, citizens, right? And this is going to be people who lose their ID, don't have their ID, need to get an ID, whatever it might be. Just for example, my mom, born here, white lady.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. I heard myself say it, and
I'm like, ew, why did I say it like that? But my mom. So you everyone knows pretty much that she's been ill. So she hasn't driven in a really really long time. So her ID expired like a long time. I drive her everywhere. Okay. So recently something happened where she needed her ID. Oh, we were trying to do things online with her glasses and her lens, and anyway, we needed to get an ID. Well, we needed her birth certificate. Well, we couldn't find her birth certificate. Birth certificate was gone. So it took almost a year and like 2 or 3 months to go through this process to get this woman an ID. Okay. Now this woman she's born here. Okay. But this is my point, right? Most of these people who are going to be disenfranchised are going to be the people who are already citizens. They have already given and they have already been identified as citizens. So, but why? Why do we also need and why we could be like, yeah, okay, IDs are important. I actually do think that IDs are important though. I do think that you should be, and it's different state to state, jurisdiction upon jurisdiction, right? Like in the state of New York, you only have to show your ID the very first time you vote, or if there's some sort of special circumstances where it says that you have to show it. Otherwise, you could show up every year and you show up and you vote. That's why they use elections inspectors, the people that run the polls, people in the community, because it's supposed to be like this extra layer of check and balances. Like, oh, somebody, there's somebody that's in the area that could be like, yeah, like when I do elections inspections, I've done this for almost 15, 16 years, right? And it's the same exact people, right? I know so many people because it's the people I grew up with in the area, right? But this is the thing. I have caught people cheating. And I do know that people will lie. I know that people will pretend to be other people. Okay, and that does suck. But in that same way that we stress that the margins, those margins that we're fighting for, to say that voter ID will disenfranchise enough of that margin to affect local elections, it's the same. I feel like it's the same way for the other side, depending on your area, right? Because in my area where I had a very large, it was a dense city, and you can't tell, and that always frustrated me because all elections inspectors are able to do is look, they could identify through your address, and then when you sign in the poll book, that's how we check. If you don't have to show your ID, right? If it's an ID state, then we're not talking about you. But if you don't have to show your ID, how we determine as elections inspector whether we're going to give you the ballot or not is if your signature matches the signature in the poll book, right? And if it doesn't match, that's our only way to check, right? And we can challenge that. We could be like, yeah, no, that signature does not match, no way. But can I tell you how many times it hasn't matched for me? But I've felt a conflict of interest because somebody will say, oh yeah, I've been working on changing my signature or something stupid, and it doesn't make sense, but you're like, but why would this person lie about this? I don't know. Am I going to take their vote from it? Oh, I broke my hand. I have carpal tunnel. Oh, some fucking reason that they'll come up with that the signature is changed. Oh yeah, no, my signature has changed. That signature was taken, 20 years ago or 15 years ago when I got my license originally, and my signature has evolved, whatever. Okay, so this is my suggestion. I think that there should be ID. I do. But I also think that if we would pass ID for the people that are going to show up, that are going to be disenfranchised, there has to be I believe, and this is my best solution. There has to be an on-call person that's ready with a WebEx connected to a judge to get a court.
What's a WebEx? What's that?
WebEx is the program that's used for courts. Okay, so courts. So this is my solution. My solution is if ever you were to try to vote and an election inspector were not to give you the ballot, or like say a lot of times, well, the federal laws purge voters if you don't vote in every two, like you have to vote in your at least every 2 years. So, for example, the Obama election, I'll never forget this. I was so upset. Obama's first election, so many people. The worst was an entire family of 2 parents and 6 children. They were all older though, right? They were all together. So you think about that. When you're older and you're adults, it takes a lot for everybody to get together. And they were so proud to come and vote. And nobody was in the poll books. And they're like, we don't understand. Only one of their kids was in the poll book. And the rest of them weren't. And it was because when I, contacted the Board of Ed, because the Board of Elections, and I called them, and I talked to them, they're like, what's going on? Oh, yeah, if they don't vote, their names are taken out of the poll book. So guess what? They didn't get to vote. They had to cast a provisional ballot. The provisional ballot, you give it to them, they'll, to fill it out or whatever. But then it doesn't go in and get counted with the ballots. It gets, provisionally counted. It goes into a special separate section, and then the Board of Elections is going to determine whether they're going to count those or not, right? And most of the time they don't. They're not going to get, there's a large likelihood that they're not going to get counted, okay? So this is my thing. I think that for people that get challenged, that can't vote, there needs to be a WebEx on call. And I think this is simple. It's because everybody has a fucking, could do a laptop. It would be one laptop for every section. You open it up and you do a WebEx with a judge, and the judge is sitting there on call. No, I'm serious. Well, you could do this anyway, Oleg. This is how this works in a lot of areas already do this. And many places can do this, where the judge hears your case and they just say, okay, yes, because now you're video recorded, right? And you've spoken to a judge, so you're not going to vote a million times. And the judge is saying, okay, you are who you say you are. You can cast a regular ballot, or they might say no. And so then at that point, you go and you take your ballot and you cast it with all the ballots. So that's my solution, and I think that needs to happen. Oh, and also the payments, the cost of anything else, yes, that also should be subsidized by any type of changes. But otherwise, and I think we could make this happen. I think it would be realistic to.
All right. So now I'm gonna tell you how terrible Omni-Tether's argument is. I'm gonna give you an analogy. I'm gonna a very quick one, something simple that all of us can understand. Tether is saying something fucking stupidly retarded, like it's my 21st Amendment to buy alcohol in this country if I'm above the age of 21. Oh, I go somewhere. Hey, can you prove that you're above the age of 21? Not everybody could afford a license to prove that they're 21. You're impeaching on my freedom to buy alcohol beverage at the age of 21.
You're a dipshit. The 21st Amendment doesn't give you the right to drink alcohol. You're saying dipshit things because you're a dipshit.
I should be able to freely buy alcohol at the age of 21 at states that allow it. You see? That was
you see how it's not analogous? Because the 21st Amendment doesn't give you the right to drink alcohol, dipshit.
So it says
you retard.
It says December 5th.
Oh, your fucking little thing failed again, didn't it?
The 18th Amendment that ended the nationwide prohibition of alcohol. It was enacted to combat.
Did it give you the right to drink alcohol, dickhead? Oh, it did it. Oh, so you're just saying it's coming out of your asshole, right? Oh.
Opposition to the ban, returning regulation of intoxicating liquors to individuals. Anyways, so Omni-Tether is saying
he tried so hard.
So I have the law in front of me. That's why I knew you were gonna cry off mic. I have the law right in front of me. So he's crying off mic like, the United States says you have to be 21 years old to drink alcohol, but I am 21 years old. I don't have to prove it. I'm 21. Just believe me. I don't need to provide a license. You know how hard it is to get a license? I don't have to give a birth certificate. You know how hard it is to get one or file I want to get, I don't have to prove who I am. You know how difficult it is? I'm 21. Just believe me. I want to buy alcohol. Just take my word. No, there's like places, a lot of Wawas. I think they have what's called We ID Everyone regulations. Meaning, even if you look like you're 80 years old, guess what? They make you ID. Even if you look like you're 100 years old, guess what? They make you ID. It's called the We ID Everyone regulation to avoid being accused of discrimination. Now, people like Amita, they're going to be like, I don't have to ID. I should have had to ID. You know how difficult IDs are to get? It's almost impossible. Not everybody can afford them. Why do you want me to perform? Why do you want me to?
How many times are you gonna repeat yourself?
Why do you want? He's like, why do you want me to provide an ID? This is un-American. This is un-American. And once again, we have proven over and over and over. We even gave analogies or metaphors in a hypothetical world that there was the case that we provided free IDs to everybody. Free. Here you go. You get one. You get one. You get one. You know what? You can request it online. You get one. Everybody gets one. Is there any issue?
I have one too.
With
No, I'm after him. I'm giving this fight the belt.
You keep interrupting, bro. You should sit yourself down.
You're getting the belt.
Yeah, but I was next.
Is there any issue? Is there any issue with saying that these people should have to provide an ID, that they're an American citizen? Now, some people like Omnichannel will be like, that's un-American. Just take them on their word. They don't have to provide an ID. They don't have to give you the name. They don't have to give you the address. They don't have to give you the birth date. They said they're American. Just let them vote. I think asking them for a little piece of plastic that's about 4 inches wide, maybe 2 inches high, it's un-American to ask them to provide that. Un-American. Oh, passport? No. As an American, you should be allowed to go into any airport without a passport, without an ID, because you're an American. You have the right to travel freely without molestation.
Or you can tell you don't have nothing to say because you keep looping. You keep saying the same stupid ass point. Prolong the point, and I'm gonna bust that ass when you're done. Go ahead.
You're hurt. You sound hurt.
I'm gonna bust that ass when you're done. Go ahead.
You sound hurt.
No, I'm just annoyed with the retardation.
You sound hurt. According to Louis' ideology, anybody should be able to buy alcohol without providing ID. Anybody should be able to vote without providing ID. Anybody should be able to freaking fly in the airplane.
Alright, so I'm just gonna talk over you because you've repeated yourself like 5 times, and I don't think anyone gives a fuck anymore, right? So the issue is the right to drink alcohol is not a right bestowed by the Constitution, right? The right to vote, however, is, right? So everyone has the right, every American citizen, right, who isn't like he hasn't gone to jail or hasn't committed some federal crime, has the right to vote. So any legislation that stands to alienate or deprive Americans of this right to vote, right, is a law that I think is anti-democratic and probably goes against the Constitution and limits Americans from exercising their rights. Right? We have a right to vote. We don't have a right to drink alcohol. It's why what you're saying is retarded, right? But it's okay. I think you know it's a little retarded, but you're desperate, right? Because you've been completely clobbered on this topic, right? So it's disanalogous because no one enjoys the right to drink alcohol, right? We do, however, enjoy the rights to vote. So if there is going to be legislation passed, right, that helps voting, it should be like I'm not even against voter cleaning up our voting process or what do we say, election reform. I'm not against it, but you have to if you're going to propose it or a remedy, the remedy has to be such that it solves the issue of voter fraud, and also it doesn't stand to ostracize Americans from voting. That's the best form, right? It has to be twofold. It must be twofold, actually. You can't have just one. It has to be both. If it's going to solve the issue of fraud, it must do that. It has to solve that issue, but it also has to
this whole stupid point, you saying that if I could have, I did, I have the right to drink alcohol. You don't have the right to drink alcohol, dipshit. That's why your whole fucking retarded looping point makes no sense. Take this belt, dumbass nigga, bro. You just got fucking spanked.
Yeah, you can bring voter IDs laws to First and foremost, we already right now, you need to provide the driver's
Yeah, bro, you already got spanked, bro. Go ahead, say what you gotta say. You got spanked.
Bro, the way that we put belt to ass to knowledge is crazy.
You know the difference is between alcohol and
Go ahead, you already got spanked, son. You got spanked already. Go ahead, do your thing.
Neck brace, bro. I start documenting every pain that I have. I would look this is 6 and 7 because that boy herniated it, bro. Damn. It's crazy, bro. And you a survivor, though, bro.
You know that? You notice how emotional everybody got in the middle of my speech?
But you give a nice.
Finished. It was my turn in the queue. And Louis said, I'm going to start talking. Yeah, it was my turn in the queue, bitch nigga. Anyway, so you notice how Omni Teller did everything but address what I said about traveling freely without molestation? You guys notice how he did that? Because that was one of the key points of my argument. Yeah, it's my American right, my First Amendment right to travel freely without molestation. Therefore, entailment of the stupid argument. I should be able to get on a plane and travel anywhere within the state without having to show my ID. Because it's my American right. Because I'm American.
You know, it's not your right to travel, dog. You're just making shit up, bro. Wrong again. Wrong again, Sir Gustavo. I'm so sorry to inform you. Wrong again. That's not a right. Not like voting is. But continue.
It is actually. That's the funny part. I'll prove you wrong again in a second.
Bro, you're getting flogged, bro. I'm flogging you.
Look, he's emotional. He's emotional. And y'all see it, and I get it. So once again,
No.
Very,
Those belts will heal.
Emotional. Bro, he can't hold it emotional.
You better not tell him, bro. Tomorrow when you go to work, you better say I fell down the stairs, bro. Don't be a bitch and tell him that you got abused. Don't do that.
Y'all emotional. And I get it. Once again, it is your American right to travel freely without molestation. And guess what? According to Louis, no, I should be able to get on a plane without an ID. Because you know how difficult it is to get an ID? You know how much, it costs money. People can't afford IDs. And you know what? I should be able to get on a plane and go anywhere I want within the United States without an ID because, oh man, it's so much work to get an ID. They cost, man, as low as $25. You know how fucking difficult it is to make $25 and pay for an ID? You know what? Sometimes, depending on your age, they cost even $50, bro. It costs almost $50. Nah. Asking me to pay $20 to $50 for an ID, it's what's it called? It's interfering with my right to travel, interfering with my rights to be an American. This is regarded as arguments. Asking somebody to pay for an ID that costs as low as $25 if you're a kid. Yes. All my kids have passports. Sorry, try again. Anyway, asking. So all my kids have passports.
Yo, notice how he was like, oh, what if the passport was free? Would you be okay with this? I was like, yeah, dumbass, I would be okay with this. Notice how he didn't address it? So you already conceded the point, which is that there exists, because of this act, and what it stands for, would exist to be a barrier to entry for voters, right? You conceded that already. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Damn, I'm next, right?
I mean, we're all emotional. We're human beings. We have
Yes. Retarded arguments make me emotional. Yes, you're right. Yes. Retardation gets me riled up. Yeah, retardation gets me riled up.
Disenfranchising my fellow Americans' knowledge.
Emotional.
Yes, but you're Moscow too.
I live in California where houses come like.
No, you're just repeating your dumbass point, like looping over and over and over again, holding everyone hostage. And I don't care to listen to it anymore. I don't care to listen to it anymore. You're done your point. You're done. You made your point. You made your retarded ass point. And I scraped you. You got scraped with that dumbass point. Oh, what about travel? You didn't address my travel point. Oh, it's a good thing that being able to travel isn't bestowed upon us by our Constitution, Gustavo. But guess what is? The ability and the right to vote. Oh. Wow. Another retarded point thwarted again. Go. You have permission to talk now.
Yeah, let me respond after knowledge. Let's see how long it's gonna take.
I'm not taking it.
So yeah, I live emotional. So I live in California where it's like $358,000 for HOA, but I think $25 for an ID is inexcusable because you know how difficult it is to get $25 for an ID. I think this is unacceptable, and this is America. You should be able to vote with an ID, and also because of that, we should be allowed to travel freely throughout the country without an ID, because an ID costs up to $50 for an adult and $25 for a child.
$65.
This is emotional.
Yeah, $65.
Emotional.
Don't lie about the price.
Emotional. So yeah, my God, this is like inexcusable. Like let's say it was $15 more. Oh my God, how can anybody in America be able to pay up to $65 for an ID? Like, no, I mean.
Oh wow. Poor people exist. Who would have thought? Poor people exist. Oh my God.
Emotional. So we should allow
people who would rather have that $65 go to groceries than pay for a passport just to be able to vote. Oh, wait, that's not that doesn't happen in America, where $65 is like gold to a family, like precious water to a family.
A passport is like almost $200.
65 measly bucks. Anyone has that.
You're next. Passport is $200. So you gotta double that by over double $80.
We talk about these right now.
No, we're talking about passport.
I just said an ID for a kid costs $25. An ID for an adult costs $50. You think you're wrong? It's my turn. It's my turn. How am I emotional? It's my turn. I haven't finished landing.
Don't get your.
Wait, we're in the queue?
Look at that. Yes! It's my turn. You know who was after me? Cognito was after me.
I didn't know he was in the queue. I thought we were talking.
Yo, Cognito has been patient. It was Bima, it was Knowledge, and then Cognito. Yo, Cognito.
I apologize. I didn't know. I thought we was just shooting shit.
No. It was me and then Cognito. Yo, he's been waiting for a long ass time. I'm not gonna lie. But yo, everybody heard Taylor apologize to me. I'm good with that. So I'm gonna pass.
I apologize for it. I didn't know.
No. He said I apologize.
Nah, not that dumbass.
That's good enough. That's good enough for me. All right. One mic on Cognito.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so
yo, I'm bad, Cognito. Sorry.
You're all good. I saw what went down. It was your turn, but I'm not gonna take sides. I don't want to get my neck chewed off. But I think that earlier Samoa, I'm not gonna attack Samoa, but he has this tendency to just I don't know. I think he's like the epitome of white belts. He think he's top-notch black belt. That's in his mind, but he's obviously a white belt when it comes to debating. And I made some points earlier, and he avoided even acknowledging the points I made and said that I misstepped and went down another tangent. And I don't know what that was about, but I think on the topic of voting, I do agree with having proper identification when voting to establish that you are a citizen. But in comparison, to recent years of how voting been going down, I don't think that it was a big narrative that kind of pointing to either side. Trump won. right? He won, and he really, even from his side, went down this path of, oh, that could have been, the numbers could have been wrong due to the fact that maybe somebody cheated, or there were illegals in there, etc. And nobody went down that path, from my knowledge. But I think that it was something that was brought up to manipulate the people, from my perspective, and it did a very good job. But I think that people have to have a better way at thinking, from my perspective. And it's not about like just what you vote about. It's the reasons behind why you vote. And I feel like a lot of people's reasonings are very much attached to their own experiences, rather than looking at the big picture and actually using some type of metric to be like, you know what, this is what our country needs. And I'm not, saying Trump is a bad person. I dislike Trump, but I'm looking at the impact that he's having on society. And I'm not going to say that I tried my best to be unbiased about it, right? I don't care about his character, but it's what's happening to America that I'm pointing to. And the numbers speak for itself. And not a lot of people actually go and do that, right? They just sit back, hey, I don't like this ideology, I'm going to support this ideology. Oh, this team is winning, I'm going to vote for this team because they're losing, right? And this is the narrative that is going down adults' mind when they're voting. And I encourage people to vote accordingly to how you want to see the state of our nation, on terms of like the next generation. I think that the next generation may not be immediate right now, but the next generation will suffer the consequences from the choices we are making today. And I'll just leave it there.
Beautiful submission.
From India, and I know this.
How many more heads on the queue?
I think I'm the last one. I find it quite interesting, the logic behind the SAVE Act, folks, right? Remember during this past election, they were like talking about Kamala, that she's not relatable, that she's like, she can't relate to the average American, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Not even 50% of Americans don't even have a fucking passport. So how the fuck is the SAVE Act going to be relatable to the majority of people in this country? And do you consider that, if we do, for example, pass this bill, that there may be a backlog? Of course, people, even if they do get online to get their passport? Uh-oh. They didn't think about that.
Ask a simple thing, brother.
Right? Hold on. No, my friend. Let me finish. Right?
I'm just asking a question before you finish.
No. Hold on, my friend.
Before you finish, I have to ask.
Hold on, you're going to let me finish, my friend. You're talking.
Don't understand my emergency.
You're going to let me finish.
I don't journalist. No, everything.
Marky, we're just gonna let him finish, okay? And then you could go, Marky. Go ahead, still.
Thank you. So the thing about it all is that, when it's convenient,
Strike one, Marky.
Talk about. Yeah, these folks will talk about, these people aren't relatable, they're elitist, they're this, and that. That's what I said earlier, right? Not even 50% of Americans have a degree. So let's up the fucking standard so people can at least be educated when they make a vote. You want to abide by the law? Well, also let's abide to logic. Let's abide to those who are educated, and let's make it even more elitist so that some of you in this room who are advocating for this bill won't be able to vote. And then we're going to be saying, this country's being problematic, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, you voted for the fucking billionaire to be in office.
I got another one, income. And not only degree, but also you gotta meet a certain income.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Right. If you're not making over 100K, you should not be able to vote. Let's hear the logic the folks will say to support that. What percentage of Americans make 100K? I doubt even 40%.
You believe in Medicaid insurance in your life?
No, we're not even.
Why are they talking about Medicaid insurance?
You guys, you can't let other interruptions while Steele is giving his submission. Hold on, Marky, we can't do that. Steele's gonna finish. Steele is gonna finish.
That's 1 and 2. Marky, come on.
Thank you. So this is
Not a warning.
This is why,
It's your opinion.
That's Mark, that's done, sorry.
I'm speaking. You're not going to stop me. Listen. This this is why people like James Talarico, I think, are a breath of fucking fresh air to the political system in this country because he critiques the folks up top versus those at the bottom. And none of you in this room qualify for the folks at the top or in the billionaire or even the millionaire.
Excuse me.
Except for Redmond, of course, you know. But, like, you know, you get the point. Like, I just think it's ironic as Americans, right? Like, the elitist game when it comes to access to certain things, it's always fun in games until it hits you. And that's all I gotta say, man. You know, She-Wolf, the sister She-Wolf said it best. A passport is at $60. Up that shit by double, and it's still not even the amount of $200. Right? Come on, man. We're fucking cooked in this country. I really hope and pray. I really hope and pray that, you know, the brother here, Cogito, said it best. I really wonder how some of you guys envision the next generation should be. Do you think that the next generation should be fucked up and they shouldn't have access to certain things? Because I can guarantee you, the wealth gap is already increasing, right? So, including that wealth gap, you guys gotta consider how does that influence the social determinants of access to certain things, like getting a passport, like the good quality of life, healthcare access, etc. But you guys don't care about that, right? So, I don't know. You guys complain.